Shout out to the Twitter user SnowyVulpix9515 for bringing this to my attention. Thank you very, very much. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go again. We are back with another installment of the anime series known as Activision Blizzard. In this video, we are going to be going over two articles here, the first of which is titled, California Accuses Activision Blizzard of Withholding and Suppressing Evidence. I mean, honestly, it doesn't surprise me at this point. It really, truly doesn't. Activision Blizzard's leaders have promised to work to make the company a safe place for women to work, but California has now accused the company of illegally withholding and suppressing evidence and shredding documents that it requested for its investigation. California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing, or DFEH for short, originally filed the suit in July, which accused the company of creating a frat-like culture where female employees faced constant sexual harassment and discrimination. The updated complaint can be read below, and you can read the original version here. Since the new version contains the same extremely disturbing details, it warrants the same content warning as the original. In a new section of the complaint, the DFEH says Activision Blizzard is encouraging employees to talk to attorneys at the WilmerHale law firm instead of state investigators, and then denying the state access to that evidence because the conversations were confidential. Activision Blizzard had already been criticized by both a company shareholder and the press for hiring WilmerHale, a law firm that was widely reported to have helped Amazon initially defeat its workers' efforts to organize in Alabama. WilmerHale has now broken its silence to deny any involvement with that effort, and also tells The Verge that it doesn't do work for Amazon or represent the company in any way. The DFEH also claims Activision Blizzard tried to get employees to sign away their ability to speak freely to investigators in waivers, secret settlements, and non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs for short, which would require employees to notify Activision Blizzard before disclosing information about incidents covered by the NDA or settlements. They would also decide how much employees could freely say, given the company the ability to take all the steps it deemed to be appropriate to prevent or limit the required disclosure. Activision Blizzard has promised to try to fix its culture after its initial public response was panned by employees who would later stage a walkout. In a letter to employees published in late July, the company's CEO promises that anyone found to have impeded the integrity of our processes for evaluating claims and imposing appropriate consequences will be terminated. The allegations in the updated complaint don't paint a picture of a company working on fixing its culture, though. For its part, an Activision Blizzard spokesperson told IGN that the company didn't shred any documents and that it had preserved information relevant to the DFEH. The complaint has also been updated in several places to clarify that it's not just full-time employees, but also temps and contingent workers that experience sexual harassment and discrimination. Correction, a previous version of this article cited reports that suggested law firm WilmerHale helped Amazon defeat a union organization. The law firm now states it wasn't involved and doesn't work for or represent Amazon. Okay, so this right here honestly does not surprise me, but at the same time, I am absolutely baffled. Now we are at the point where Activision Blizzard is being accused of withholding and suppressing evidence and shredding documentation? Are you actually kidding me? Like, I know these are accusations, like in legal terms and all that stuff, but it would not surprise me in the absolute slightest if this right here was actually taking place, because Activision Blizzard has been called out for so much shit and have been caught and called out by former and current employees. This right here would absolutely not surprise me. And there is also apparently claims coming out now that Activision Blizzard actually tried to buy their way out of this type of controversy. What I mean by that is with secret settlements, and not to mention as well, NDAs. And I had a feeling that NDAs were somehow going to be involved in this situation. And I say this because a lot of the outcry came from the former employees, but we didn't really get as much feedback on this when it came to the current employees of Activision Blizzard. And I was speculating. I had a bit of a hunch, thinking that, NDAs were probably a factor here in that situation. And lo and behold, it seems like it is. So, yeah, there's really not much else I can say in response to this article other than, holy shit, this is baffling, but not surprising in the least. So now let's move on to the second article hosted by IGN. Activision Blizzard. California lawsuit accuses publisher's HR department of shredding documents. The California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, or DFEH for short, updated its lawsuit against Activision Blizzard today, adding temp workers to the original complaint while accusing the publisher of withholding key documents. Axios was the first to report on the updated lawsuit. One of the key passages says that documents and records have not been maintained as required by law, and that documents related to investigations and complaints were shredded by human resource personnel, and emails are deleted 30 days after an employee's separation. Activision Blizzard's human resources have been called out by many employees who say that the department did little to address accusations of abuse and harassment when they were happening. In IGN's report on Activision Blizzard, diversity and inclusion measures were described as perfunctory and insufficient. Activision Blizzard employees on Twitter quickly responded to the new allegations of document shredding. An example of that comes from the Twitter user Jessica Gonzalez saying the following: HR destroyed the documents related to the lawsuit, which means the fine for doing so was less than the penalty for what it was. Shame on HR, time to unionize. I will be screaming this from the hilltops now. Feels so fucking gross. Working here right now. Twitter user Sean tweets out as well in response to this. It alleges, in part, that documents related to investigations and complaints were shredded by human resource personnel in violation of what it asserts is the game company's legal obligation to retain them pending the investigation. Yikes. And yeah, I agree. Yikes. Asked for comment, an Activision Blizzard spokesperson sent the following statement to IGN. Throughout our engagement with the DFEH, we have complied with every proper request in support of its review, even as we had been implementing reforms to ensure our workplaces are welcoming and safe for every employee. Those changes continue today and include several high-level personnel changes, revamped hiring and recruiting practices requiring diverse interview panels, greater transparency on pay equity, expanded and improved training and investigative capabilities for human resource and compliance staff. Created investigation teams outside of business units to support greater independence, restructured divisions to support greater accountability, enhanced review processes to include evaluation of managers by employees, clear boundaries on workplace behavior with a zero-tolerance approach to harassment and other actions that diminish or marginalize. We strive to be a company that recognizes and celebrates the diverse talents and perspectives that lead to the creation of great global appealing entertainment. We have provided the DFEH with clear evidence that we do not have gender pay or promotion disparities. Our senior leadership is is increasingly diverse, with a growing number of women in key leadership roles across the company. We share DFEH's goal of a safe, inclusive workplace that rewards employees equitably and are committed to setting an example that others can follow. And an update. An Activision Blizzard spokesperson later amended the statement to explicitly deny the accusations of document shredding by the California DFEH. With regards to claims that we have destroyed information by shredding documents, those claims are not true. We took appropriate steps to preserve information relevant to the DFEH investigation. Okay, well, first off, I have to say, with the ever-increasing losing battle that you are in there, Activision, you have a ton to prove here. You claim that documentation was not destroyed. How about you actually back up some of that evidence there with your claims? And also, you want to list off all of these changes. Well, that's all well and good, but talk is cheap. And when it comes to you, Activision Blizzard, after all of the shit that has come out by former employees, hell, even your current employees are calling your bitch asses out. You have a ton to prove here and a ton to redeem. That is, if there is even the opportunity for you guys to have a redemption arc, which, you know, sorry to say, not really, but I don't think that is in your future in the coming days. Like, I don't know. I am probably a little bit biased for saying all this and for having that type of approach. But then again, I don't think it can really be blamed too much to have this type of response when it comes to this situation here, especially if we dive into the nitty-gritty of the details when it comes to the actual lawsuit and, you know, what's involved and stuff like that, which I've covered in past videos. And just even remembering some of that stuff starts to give me some chill bumps here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is beyond disturbing, you know, just to even remember, you know? Like, my God. And keep this in mind as well, ladies and gentlemen. This is coming from HR of Activision Blizzard. And human resources are supposed to take care of the employees with their needs. You know, if there are issues, they're supposed to be handled and addressed to the best of the abilities of the parties. But when you have HR pulling this type of skivvy shit, you know how little of a shit they give about anyone that has had to go through this type of bullshit, this type of harassment. You name it. Like, there's been a lot of stuff that took place when it comes to Activision Blizzard and the lawsuit. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what are your guys' thoughts and opinions on what it is we discussed here in this video? I would like to hear you guys out. You know, if you guys agree with my takes, if you guys disagree with my takes, if you guys have something else to bring to light when it comes to this conversation right here, by all means, please fire away, okay? I would love to hear you guys out, okay? Do not be afraid to call me out if you disagree with me on anything, okay? Like, that is one of the big reasons why I make these type of videos and why I encourage engagement and interaction. If you have something to say, be respectful about it, but say it to me. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Thank you for your time as well. Have yourself a damn good one, and I will see you guys in the next video.